We are now on page 114 in the Big Math book. Let's go ahead and get started. The elevations of objects found at a dig site are recorded in the table. So here is the table that we're going to be using. Which object was found at a lower elevation? The fossil of the shell or the fossil of the fish? So we're looking at the shell and the fish here. Okay, graph the elevations for the fossil of the shell and the fossil of the fish. As you move blank on a vertical number line, the numbers become less. So we talked about that before. As you move down on a vertical number line, the numbers become less. Okay, let's go ahead and graph these two. So the shell is at -3.5. So here's -3, halfway between 3 and 4 would be about here. So that's going to be the shell. And the fish was at -3 1/4. -3 1/4 is going to be right there. That's the fish. Okay, -3.5, the shell is lower than -3 1/4 on the number line. Use common denominators to compare Okay, so that would be one way of solving it. Okay, this is one way of doing it, using the number line. So which shell was found at which was found at the lower elevation? The shell was found at the lower elevation. So that's one way of using it. Just use the number line. Whichever one's further down, that's the one that's lower. Whichever one's higher up, that's the one that's higher. Okay, another way to do it is we can use common denominators to compare the fractions. So we look at the denominators 2 and 4. Okay, so we have denominators of 2 and 4. We count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, 8. Count by 4's. 4, 8, 12. We want the least common denominator. So that's going to be 4. So we want this to have a denominator of 4. So we have to multiply by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 already has a denominator of 4, so we can just leave that one. So negative 3 2/4 and -3 1/4. Since the 3's are the same, since the whole numbers are the same, you only need to compare the fraction part. So they're both negative. So -2/4 is blank, then -1/4. Well, -2/4 is less than, here we'll use the word less than 1/4. So -3.5 is less than -3 1/4. So the fossil of the shell was found at a lower elevation than the fossil of the fish. So this was two ways, one way and the second way, but both, the first way we used the number line and we could see the shell was at the lower elevation, and the second way we just used common denominators so we can compare the fractions, and we still found that the shell was on the lower elevation. All right, thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.